So here's a peek into my art journal and planner systems. This is my whole stack and it's, you know, come along over the years. I wanted to do a show and tell today on my hobonichi techo, my hobonichi weeks, and my art journal planner approaches, as well as my doodlings, because I definitely am an avid doodler. I love throwing in color and ink into everything I do. So I'm going to just switch out the bits and bobs here. I wanted to keep it simple. I do want to do like a full tour of everything. I'll probably do that at the end of the year so I can show a full display of what got done in the year. I think that would be more exciting, and keeping it simple so as not to overwhelm. I am super excited to give a little peek into what I do in my week-to-week planner approaches. So first of all, I'll just give you a rundown of how I approach everything. I like to set up an illustration in my art journal, and then I also love to do a little illustration in the other page and write down my to-do list for the week. And I try to keep low pressure on myself because that's just what I found helps with follow through, getting everything down so that I can have a layout. And if I don't get it done, then the next week it can trail into. And I'm definitely still working with how to prioritize things in my life. Starting small and just starting is important, and keeping things simple. So here's a little peek at this spread. So usually I write down my to-do list here, and then I throw it into my hobonichi weeks and kind of organize it all into my day-to-day. I'm a self-employed artist, so I like to organize a theme into each day. So Tuesdays are YouTube and like shop design days. Wednesdays are stream days where I work on Twitch stream stuff and also Ko-fi stuff. And I guess Mondays are like more rest days, and that's where I sit down and get everything in my to-do lists and hobonichis done and just organize my week. Thursdays are tattoo days and drawing days, as well as Fridays, and Saturdays are kind of like a free-for-all. I like to keep my Saturdays a bit more loosey-goosey and unstructured so that I can do whatever needs to get done, whatever my heart calls to do. And that's how I like to approach my weeks. It's usually loosey-goosey, but I am continually aiming for more structure in my life as a creative person. And then Sundays are rest and recover days, and I spend time with my family and my loved ones. And in this spread here, I like to write down the little things that happen in my week and memory keep my day-to-day because it helps me feel more grounded, and life happens quick, so it is a cool way to slow down and remember the small little moments that happen in a day. And I find that helps with preserving my own day-to-day well-being and happiness. So I try to keep up with that. Everything is kind of in the works right now, and I try to do this weekly, but sometimes it doesn't happen, which is okay. The point is to have fun, you know, with my art journal and my sketchbooks and my planners. I also love to make these into digital printables for people over on Ko-fi, which is a lot of fun. So let's do a little gander and meander at my art journal spreads and my hobonichi spreads, because we're in June and that's halfway through the year, which is wild. So first I'll do a little cheeky tour of my hobonichi weeks. And I'll show you a little peek into my monthly spreads here. I like to go in at the beginning of every month and kind of jot down plans and things that I kind of need to stay more focused on and prioritize, so I don't get overwhelmed at the end of the month and then try and cram everything in. So with my Ko-fi, I have memberships over on Ko-fi, and I make print stickers, mini zines, and send out mail at the end of the month. And that is, it gets to be quite a lot. So I like to write in all of the things from week to week to kind of space it out so that I'm not overwhelmed. It's in the works. I still get overwhelmed, admittedly, but we're taking it as it comes, you know? So that's January, February, March. I, missed out on March. I think March was a heavier month. April, May, and June. I do want to make it a bit more, okay, so I will admit that I really like these two. Just to note, because I didn't use my fountain pen in these, so I really like using my fountain pen. It makes it pop more, I find. And then in the space days, I kind of like to do little doodles. And I'm trying to keep an idea of what I want to post on Instagram just to keep up with it, but that has been a bit overwhelming. I guess it's more as a guide, so I can have some sort of idea of what's going on. So for our week to week, here's a little cheeky tour of the spreads that I got so far. I'll just do a quick flip through. I like to scribble down color with my Stabilo Boss markers and just go in with random stickers and doodles. If I miss a week, I like to fill it with little illustrations, and I try to be as easy on myself as possible. And we're here. This is us today, on the day that I'm recording this. So there's a little peek into my hobonichi weeks. I will admit I have like a bunch of different things on the back here. I wanted to approach it in a way where I can kind of write down music I found, movies and shows that I watched, more like expansion on the little things here in my day-to-day. But honestly, I haven't kept up with it. So I would like to work on revisiting this like week to week in my day-to-day, but gotta start somewhere, I guess, and that's me starting. It's just hard to keep consistent with it, but that's all right. So I'll give you a little peek into my illustrative to-do lists. I got it marked off here with some sticky notes. Hihi. So I scribbled the loosey goosey here, and I love just illustrating little doodles with my fountain pen. I also do printables of spreads that I illustrate in my journal over on Ko-fi, and I have the idea of making printables to put in my shop, but that's on the mighty to-do list that I have of things that I want to get done. It's all coming together slowly. It's also very vulnerable to share and sell art for some reason. It's intimidating, so I'm building up the courage and the bravery. This was a really cute and playful one. I do a lot of these illustrations in my art journal. I just throw them in to match my to-do list because I love the look of it. This one is definitely one of my favorites that I've done so far in this journal. These journals I usually get done in like 3 months, which has been wild. There was a couple months last year where I finished a journal in 2 months, which is wild. Yeah, they're the loves of my life, these journals. I get them at Michael's. They're just like $10, and I've been using them for years. I've been journaling like this since like 2016, 2017, and yeah, the love of my life, these journals and planners. So here's some fresh pages, some fresh pages. Before we go into getting some scribblings down, I wanted to give a little tour of the months that I got done so far in my hobonichi techo. I'll give a little flip through of these. I like to illustrate in the boxes. If you're a regular here, you will know all about that I'm very savvy about it. And that's my month-to-month groove, in a sense. Let's do a quick flip. This is May, and we're on to June. So that's basically my art journal and planner approach. So today I would love to dive into some illustrations and doodles and loosey-goosey color. So I want to fill the first week of June and also illustrate a to-do list and a spread in my art journal, along with scribbling in my hobonichi weeks. We're gonna see where it all goes and embrace imperfection because I really just want to have fun with it all, because that's the whole point. So if you want to join in this little world that we're building together, let's get some planning and art done today. I'm gonna pick out some colors to use for kind of a backdrop that I like to do. I would love to do a pencil case tour video. I think that'd be really fun. That's also a build-up of bravery. I'm working on building up the bravery in my world so I can do the things that I want to do. And I'll scribble some color down. Go in and intuitively draw freehand, and I think up until this point with YouTube videos I have just done mostly recordings of line work over pencil, but I'm just gonna go in today and randomly doodle things. This is definitely the main approach that I love to take with drawing and with creating art in my art journal. So now I'm gonna go in and write down what I have to do this week. I'm gonna go in with a different color to kind of differentiate from the black ink. So with these to-do lists, I like to go into my second week of the month and just look at what I got written down, which helps keep me focused and feel a bit more grounded. Putting things into perspective really helps with remembering what I need to do in a month and in my week-to-week wanderings. So I can just plant the things that I have to do into my to-do list, which is quite handy dandy. This has been a process of discovery over the past like 4 years. And I've only been using hobonichis for 3. It's been a lot of fun discovering what works and what doesn't, you know? And that is the spread we got for this week. Honestly, kind of feel like going in and coloring it quick. So I might do that. Don't usually put color in the background, but the past couple weeks I've been messing around with color. So that's been fun. I used to do a lot more color background in the past, so it's cool to return to that approach in a sense. Probably gonna get a little chaotic in here, but that's okay. Some weeks I definitely approach my to-do list structures and craftings a bit more messily, and some weeks I do things a bit more strategic and put together. But there's something charming about letting go and doing things messily. Just had some breakfast and made myself an iced coffee, which has been a recent discovery. I feel like I always forget about iced coffee over the winter, and then once the tail end of spring and beginning of summer creeps up, I rediscover my very potent love for iced coffee. It's such a good way to use leftover coffee, and I love it dearly. So with this illustration, I'm just gonna see where my heart leads and get my paws all inky. So there's our illustration. I think it turned out so cute and had a lot of fun. It's an extremely meditative approach. And I've been drawing like this in my art journals for a handful of years. So it's cool to see how everything's grown. I'm thinking that because this one's colored, I'm gonna go in and add some color to this, which is a different approach than what I usually do. And I used to, like I said before, do this a lot more, where I'd scribble color in the background, do an illustration over top, and then color it. So that's a neat little surprise. Let's add some color. Yippee! cheeky little spread in my hobonichi weeks. So I'm going to transfer this to-do list into my hobonichi weeks here. And I will just do it very loosey-goosey. in the first week of June and just scribble bibble in the boxes, out of the boxes, just having a grand old doodly time over here. It's cool to see it all come together. I just love the look of it. Honestly and truly so satisfying for my brain.
Hello, editing 𝘱𝘳 here. I don't have the full recording of this illustration. I must have stopped recording when I had to refill my ink in my fountain pen, and I think I must have stopped recording or something and didn't get the full process. But alas, we keep going. We are learning and we are growing.
So maybe I will go in and give you a cheeky tour of May and do a couple spreads in my hobonichi techo as well, just for the heck of it. This is something that I want to do either every 2 weeks or once a month. Go in and just have a whole sit down with my art journal and my planners and scribble away. So this is the beginning of something, and I just hope that it's all structured okay. I believe that, as nervous as I am, I believe that I'll be able to take everything and put it together in a way that works. Fingers crossed. We've made it this far already, so let's get into a bit more here. I'll do a quick little flip through, and then at the end of the year I'm going to do a full-on tour. I wrote a song this month on guitar. I haven't written music in a while, and I ended up recording it and putting it on Bandcamp, which is wild. I used to play music a lot more, like 5 years ago or so it's been really nice to get back into, and I created the lyrics I put into here. So you can head over to my Bandcamp. I'll put a link in the description, and if you want to listen to the song, it's up on there. And I'm just, I really just want to do things that bring me joy and see where things go. And release my grip on things and see where it leads. And put it out there and not put so much pressure on myself to do or be anything in particular, and just let it, plant the seed and let it grow, water it and tend to it. It's truly the approach I have to take lately, because I'm just tired of being stressed out every day, I'd rather pour playfulness and love and joy into my practice and my day-to-day rather than pour stress and turmoil and misery. Mind you, misery and turmoil is seemingly ever existent, and art is a way that I can move through things in the day-to-day, because I am hypersensitive and I'm almost always processing, so I'm learning how to move through the world, and art definitely helps. But yeah, I want to pour more playfulness and joy into my day-to-day life. Okie dokie, there we have it. I'm very thrilled with all of the neat illustrations and doodles we got done today. So fun. They all look so delightfully freaking yummy together. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I really appreciate you being here and spending your time, your precious, precious time with little old me. I'm so freaking psyched on what we got done today. I really would love to continue this format of video making, and I also am interested to hear your thoughts and your feels, and if you created anything alongside, feel free to join the Discord. I would love to see, I love seeing people's creations and art and sharing and just bouncing inspiration off one another. So intrigued and curious to see where this all goes. My heart is beating quick. Very vulnerable, but as I said and have been saying, we are being brave. We're doing the things because life is too short not to. And if we love art, what the heck? Let's do it messily and get loosey-goosey and embrace imperfection as hard as it can be. I'm rooting for us and I'm rooting for you. I believe in you, and I'm excited to see where this all goes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Stay dreamy.